Welcome to episode 41 of Your Mindset Matters, and it's nice to be back and I'm really excited to dive into today's episode. Today's episode is kind of a bit like a catch up. It's one where I have just got home and I'm like, I want to jump on and talk about some things and I want to catch up, okay? So today we will be diving in a little bit to about force, okay? When we're forcing ourselves to do things. We're going to be talking about being in flow, that voice inside your head, and taking time out. So basically it's a little bit like a self-care episode, which I'm excited to go in with you because I haven't actually been that well the past few weeks. Gratefully nothing serious, but just really run down, overwhelmed, burnt out, okay, my head and all of that jazz has felt it, okay? So I haven't been very well. And normally when I'm not very well is there's something in my head that likes to speak a lot louder. So what I'm talking about is my ego and my fear, that pressure voice, okay? And I have done an episode which is basically all around your ego and your higher self. So go and check that out. But if you've listened to that already, do you remember that voice that's inside of your head? Because remember, we have that ego voice in our head and we also have our higher self. And when I'm not very well, what tends to happen is my ego and fear voice tends to talk louder, okay? And that can also be a voice of anxiety. It can be a voice of worry, overwhelm, all of that, okay? And it tends to come in all of a sudden. It tends to come in and not make you feel very good. It's the one where you're hard on yourself and we're not very kind to ourselves. And that one, when I'm not very well, tends to speak louder, okay? Because of the pressures of life that we put on ourselves, that we constant have to be do. And that's that energy and that icky energy of forcing yourself to do things, okay? And it's about taking a step back and looking at when we're in that energy. And that's what I have been doing while I've not been very well. And I've actually given myself that time out, that time to rest. And when I tend to rest, that voice likes to speak a bit louder, okay? So that voice likes to be like, get up, you need to go and do this, you need to do that, we need to be go. And then it could then spiral to me looking at people who are having success right now. And I'm like, oh no, like I'm not going to have that success because I'm sat on the sofa not very well. Oh my goodness, like I'm putting myself behind. My life isn't going to move forward. And I'm being honest, these are some of the thoughts that I do get sometimes because we're all human and we all have this voice in our head, okay? And it's about how we manage that voice in our head. Because we have our ego and fear side. It's also known as the chimp for other people who have read The Chimp Paradox. And we also have our higher self, that inner knowing, that calm that just knows we're on that right path, that in flow feeling, okay? So we have that fear, which is in like force, where we're forcing ourselves to do things because we're scared things are gonna run out, when actually there's more than enough in the world. And we have our cool, calm and collected in flow feeling, okay? And when I've been resting, and you might get this, when you just want to take some time out for yourself, you get this false feeling, you get that fear come in like, yeah, but if you stop right now, then you're going to miss out on this. And look at them, they're doing better than you. Oh my goodness, if you rest right now, other people are going to go have success. You're going to put your life on hold. Oh my goodness, you're never going to achieve. These are some of the thoughts I've had, and you may be able to relate. You may be able to relate with some of the thoughts that you have when, for example, your fear side, your ego self is talking louder to you. Because remember, they're both trying to communicate to us. It's who we listen to. It's who we focus on in that moment. And it's about choosing and reminding yourself in that moment that we have a choice. So the past few weeks, I have been reminding myself that I have a choice, that thank you for your opinion, fear and ego thoughts. But there's another side. There's that cool, calm and collected. There's the one that is about being. And I spoke a little bit about being in last week's episode, where we are here to be human beings, okay? We're not here to have that icky, forceful pressure energy, okay? It's never any good, and it normally never turns out how you want it to go because you're forcing it from a place of fear, okay? We want to be in that flow, that ease, that inner knowing, that calm, and that I know this is going to work out. I know that right now my body needs to rest, that it's okay for me to rest, and that me resting right now is not going to put me behind, okay? And reminding yourself in that moment that we can choose. We can choose who we're going to listen to and who we're going to focus on. Because remember, where energy goes, energy flows. So the past few weeks, I have been putting that choice and reminder of that choice in me, of reminding myself that we can and we are allowed to rest. Because I don't know about you, but I know a lot of people who, I used to be this person as well, struggled with self-care and making yourself a priority. Because self-care can sometimes seem as selfish. And one of my friends actually this week worded it like, as selfish as that sounds. Let's get this clear. It is not selfish for you to put yourself first. It's necessary, okay? It's a necessity for you to have self-care. Because for the past few weeks, I was not very well because I got burnt out, overwhelmed, and I looked at what triggered this, what caused it, and took a step back. And I realised what I had been doing was doing for everybody else. And I'm that person as well that will take on everyone else's energy, okay? It's in my human design. It's just that type of person that I am. I will take on everyone's energy, everyone's feelings, and think they're my own and feel like I have to save them or I have to help them, or I take it all on basically. So I've got my own stuff going on and then I'll take on everyone else's. And that truly burnt me out and caused overwhelm and literally caused my health to not be that great. And what it's about realising is before it gets to this, and reminding yourself in little moments that before you get to the part of burnt out, overwhelmed, to stop and remind yourself that self-care, time for yourself, is a necessity. It's a priority. And to release this feeling, this belief that self-care or time for yourself is selfish. And I've said it on a podcast before that for me, it was something that I lived with for years and years and years, that I was selfish if I put myself first, because I took on what somebody else said, that they would call me selfish when I did that. But actually, what people say to you isn't about you, and it has nothing to do with you. It's about them. So I have learned and done the inner work on that and released that belief that I actually know now that the truth, and I want you to take this away with you as your own truth now, is that the truth is that self-care and that time for you allows you to rest and recharge to give more to others. Okay, because I'm a person who likes to give. Like if I hear someone's going through something, I'm thinking of 20 different ways that I could help, 20 different ways that they could help themselves, right? But sometimes it's not your job, okay? Because everyone is here to live their life and learn their own lessons. Like I'm here to live mine. I know the stuff that I go through that I don't want to go through or that seems hard is my own lesson, okay? And I get to go through that. Yes, there can be people that help you along the way, 100%, hence why I am a coach and a healer, hence why I have my own coaches and my own healers for me to help me along the way. But what I'm trying to say is you don't have to take on everyone's stuff, okay? Because for me, it caused that burnt out and that overwhelmed feeling. And what it's about now is looking back at that and also looking forward so that doesn't repeat. Okay, remember the law of patterns, that things will keep repeating over and over again until you learn the lesson. So I know if I continue to take on everyone else's energy, everyone else's things, and I don't prioritize myself, I'm going to end up burnt out again, overwhelmed and unwell. Okay, so it's about looking at that and reminding yourself that self-care, time for yourself, is a priority, it's a necessity. And where are you giving yourself time for you? Okay, so this line of, I know it sounds selfish, it's not selfish. Okay, if you're in my circle, if I know you, I would rather you prioritize yourself, right? you leave like our friendship for like a week or whatever, and you go and help yourself, or you go and take time out for yourself, or if you don't reply to me for a night, like, as long as I know that you are okay and that you are putting yourself first and there's nothing that I could do in that moment, then go and have that you time. That is something now that I truly prioritize, is my time. Okay, so during my week of overwhelmed and burnt out, I have been having a nice bath to myself, and also having that confidence to speak up. That's another thing, is having the confidence to speak up and say that you need that alone time, to say that you need some time for you, or it could even be saying that you need quality time with somebody else, okay? Because some people don't like to be on their own, and I used to be that person, okay? But I have realised in my human design that alone time is a priority for me, and also it allows me to get rid of all that energy that I'm taking on from everyone. I personally do think alone time is important for every person. I'm not telling you how much alone time though. It might just you need like half an hour, you might need a day, you might need a week, whatever it is for you. But for me, alone time is really important because it allows you to hear your thoughts, hear your feelings, and sit with yourself. Because what we can tend to do, and what I see a lot, is people tend to spend a lot of time with people or with distractions such as TV, social media, all of that stuff. Do you know when people are in like a TikTok hole, like they've been scrolling for 3 hours? Because it's a distraction, they're trying to avoid what they're truly going through, what they're truly thinking and feeling. But when we don't go into that, and when we don't listen to that, okay, because we are communicating with ourselves, our thoughts and our feelings are the way that we communicate with how we're truly thinking and how we're truly feeling. But when we don't give ourselves time to truly listen to that, it gets put on the back burner, okay? So that is what you're actually giving out. So when you think you're avoiding it and it's for the better, it's actually not, okay, in some cases. Because that energy that you're putting off and you're avoiding, and then thoughts and feelings that you're avoiding, is the true energy of how you're truly thinking and feeling. And that's the energy that you will give out, okay? You will give that energy out and you will attract that back. So you'll be stuck in that same pattern. You'll be repeating the same cycle, okay? Yes, it can be uncomfortable to go into your thoughts and feelings. Yes, it can be a little uncomfortable to actually be alone, okay, and have that you time to listen to what your thoughts and feelings are trying to communicate to you. But it's definitely worth it. And I would even say, I promise you, it will benefit you in the long run, because avoiding it helps in the short term, but damages it for the long run. Whereas going into it in the short term helps you out in the long term, because it truly allows you that true release. Because if you're choosing to avoid it all of the time, you're then going to constantly need more distractions, more this, more that, things to make you feel better. But whereas if you actually went into what it is that was causing this, what it is that was triggering it, and how you were truly thinking and feeling, you could go into that, release it, so it doesn't come up again, or for a little while, okay? It's about being honest with yourself and how you're truly feeling, because I have learned a lot this past week of what it is that I want in life, who it is that I am, and that I realised that I'd been putting some stuff off. And some stuff that I realised that I'd been putting off was the fact of prioritising things in, say, my life. Because like I said, I realised that the burnout and the overwhelm was caused by putting everyone else first and taking on everyone's energy. I thought in the moment that I was just being like there for everybody, but taking a step back, I was doing it too much, okay? And there can be too much that we give, okay? There can be too much, because you cannot pour from an empty cup. And that's what it's about, remembering and learning and knowing to be able to step back and go, how full is my cup right now? What percentage am I on right now? Because I let myself go to an empty cup and zero. To the point, even my partner talking to me, I was just like, I just need some time on my own. because I had been taking on everyone else's things. Nothing to do with him at all. It was just me needing some alone time, okay, to recharge so I could then give back to them. Because look at it like this. Do you know when you're in that short, snappy mood and everything just annoys you? Girls, you'll probably relate when you are at the time of your month or coming off the time of your month. We get them hormonal sides, right? And some things are just really irritating. Someone could even be breathing and it just really irritates you. Okay? Despite obviously the hormonal side for women, but during them times when that happens, it's tend to giving you the trigger that you're getting burnt out, that you're getting low in your cup, that you're on a low percentage, okay? So it's about knowing when you're at a low percentage, when your cup needs refilling, when you need some you time. And again, you time may look different. Some people may love to just relax on the sofa watching a film. Some people love to meditate, journal, go for a walk, exercise, spend time with a loved one, whatever it is. But remember, that's yours, okay? We need to stop following what everybody else is doing and start to learn more about ourselves. And that's something for me that 2023 is all about, is going deeper within myself. And I have been doing that the past few weeks during this time. And I've realised that some things that I thought were a priority or that were important to me, I'm not bothered about. Okay, I'm like, I am checking out of that, checking out of worrying about that, checking out of thinking about that, because it's not serving me. So it's about giving yourself that reflection time, okay? And I personally feel like it's still the best time and such a great time to reflect, okay? Because we're at the start of the year, and I know it's such a typical thing to be like, okay, start of the year. But for me, you could be doing this every single month, every single week, and even every single day if you want, of reflection. I personally do it more than just at the start of the year, because for me, it's all about growth, mindset, happiness, and being the best that I can. Okay, so it's about having that reflection of looking at your life. And how I do this is I take a step back mentally. Okay, so for example, imagine where you are right now, but just take a bird's eye view. Imagine you're a bird hovering over where you are, and then have a look at your life. Okay, are you happy in your life right now? Are you happy where things are? Do you know where you want to go? Okay, how are your relationships? How is your happiness? How is your health? How is your relationships, right? And take a full-on bird's eye view on truly what it is that's going on in your life. And it's so important to be honest with yourself for this, okay? We all want to have that perfect life, okay? And we all want to feel great and amazing every single day. And that is something that you can probably do, but it's about being real and honest with yourself first, okay? Because for me, I have seen a huge difference in the start of this year of being more in flow, feeling more happier in myself, and letting a lot of things go that didn't serve me. But I was able to do that and have that because I was honest with myself, and I went, where am I putting my focus right now? Okay, because clearly where I'm putting my focus right now didn't serve me. It didn't add to my life, because it actually made me feel burnt out and drained, right? So where can I shift my focus? Where can I move my focus that's going to serve me, that's going to take me to where I want to go? Because we're in the driver's seat of our life. Like it or not, you create your reality. I stand by that. We create our reality with our lives. With manifesting, it's actually materializing, because every single day you're materializing with your thoughts and your feelings. And it's about putting that focus in what it is that you want. But for me, I wasn't focusing on what it is that I wanted. I was, I hate to admit it, focusing on things that were annoying me, because I was going lower and lower in my percentage. I was going lower and lower in my cup, because I was giving so much away myself, energetically, however you want to see it. So it's about looking at where will you put in your focus, and where can you shift your focus? Where can you move your focus to? Where can you change it? Because where we are right now, or where I was, wasn't serving me. So it was about taking that bird's eye view, actually looking at my whole life and going, where is it that I want to go? Because you're in that driver's seat. And I want you to know, when I say you create your reality, it's the way of empowering you to know, if I don't like it where I am, I can move. If I don't like it where I am, I can change it. I can take myself to where I want to be. And to know that you don't need to wait or rely on anybody else. Okay? It's you and the universe that's creating your reality, and you can move anywhere because things will move for you. Okay? Life happens for you, and when you change your focus and you get clear on where it is that you want to go, everything starts to shift. Okay? Because you now have a set destination, and your thoughts and your feelings are like the sat nav. Okay? They're guiding you to where you want to go. Okay? It's like you're in that car, you've set where you want to go. So for example, a goal, or just to feel happier, healthier, or whatever it is that you want. And you are in that driving seat. You're the one that steers it. You're the one that accelerates. You're the one that takes you there. Okay? And it's about being in that energy of flow. It's about being in that energy of flow to get you there, instead of forcing yourself. Because if we're forcing ourselves, doing things that we don't want, not feeling good, being hard on ourselves and putting pressure on ourselves, I guarantee you'll run out of gas, or your tyre will break down, or your car will break down. You get the gist, right? You'll burn out, just like I did. But when you're in that driver's seat, enjoying, you've got the window down, the sun's shining, you've got the music on, you're in flow, just following every little step, you will get to where you want to go a lot faster, because things will move for you. So I hope that makes sense on how I've been feeling lately, and that energy of force and that energy of flow. Because for me, it's about being in that energy of flow and following what you want to do and being more you. Because actually taking this time out during these past few weeks, I have seen so many angel numbers, which basically means that you're on the right path, and it's like your angels communicating to you. If you do angel numbers, love that. If not, if you see like a double number, for example 444, or basically like a number 3 times, or a number 4 times, or like 1212 kind of thing, it's just like a little sign that I just really love, that's kind of saying you're on the right path, I've got you, from the universe. But anyway, I've been seeing loads of that lately, and I literally said to my partner yesterday, I was like, all I ever see, I was like, I've just seen that double number, I've just seen that double number, and I'm like, I'm on the right path. And I've started to feel better, okay? Because I've chose to do the bird's eye view of my life and go, I don't want to feel burnt out again, or especially not anytime soon. So I was like, how can I shift it? I shifted my focus, and I took a step back, and I allowed myself to rest and recharge and have that self-care and that time for me, because that is a priority. And if you're not prioritizing that, it's going to catch up to you. So I highly suggest you start prioritizing that and taking time out, even if you have to schedule it in your diary, okay, or put it on your calendar, me time, okay? Again, that could look like anything to you, whatever it is. It might be going for a massage, it might be going for a walk, it might be listening to a podcast, or just literally having a nice bath, just you on your own. But put that time in for you, because it will pay you back tenfold. It will allow you to fill up your own cup. It will allow you to recharge, so you can then give more to others, and also give more to yourself to take you where you want to go. And remember on that, we want to go with flow and ease instead of forcing ourselves. So be aware and go and listen to my podcast that is literally on your ego and your fear and your higher self, so you know how they're going to communicate to you. Because we want to listen to our higher self, the one that is in ease, flow and joy, and come from that place. It is one of my past episodes, so go and check it out. And if you can't find it, feel free to pop me a message and I'll send you the link. Because for me, it's so important to listen to who's talking to you and where you're coming from. Because we can show up So you hear people like, just show up consistently. Yeah, show up. But the difference is with the person that's going to be successful showing up is they come from beliefs and energy of knowing that they've got this. They know that it's already done, and they are in that energy of cool, calm and collected, right? They're listening to their higher self, not that energy of forcing yourself where you're really like pressured, being hard on yourself, coming from that energy of fear. Okay, so definitely go and listen to that, and let me tell you about the difference so you can then use that in your own day-to-day life, because 2023 and every year on out is about living in flow, being happy in yourself and your joy, and following your guidance. So following that higher self, okay, because we all have them voices in our head, okay, and we can either allow the voice in our head of fear to force us to do things and cause burnout, or we can choose to listen to that higher self, be in ease, flow and joy, and create what it is that we want whilst feeling good, okay? You don't have to have a hard life, okay? It doesn't have to be hard. Yes, coming out of your comfort zone is going to be uncomfortable, right? Sometimes when we go to that next level, when we're up leveling and growing, yes, it's going to feel uncomfortable. But what I'm saying is about who you're listening to in your mind, so you can go with that flow where it feels good and you feel guided, and where you're also rested and recharged. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. If you would like more information on how to work with me, because I have opened up more spaces to work with me on a one-to-one level, you can pop me a message on Instagram @_Holly with a Y Jenkins Coach. I will leave the link in the show notes. And if you have any questions or any episodes that you'd like me to cover, because for me, it's all about giving you and helping you guys with this podcast. So let me know, and I'm happy to do an episode for you. Thank you so much. I'll catch you in the next episode.